Hello, welcome to 577. My name is Dr. El-Bilawi. I'm going to be your instructor for the Education Research, Introduction to Education Research this semester. I apologize for some technological issues with the first video that we had, and I apologize for this late introduction of myself and the syllabus and the framework. I had a difficulty starting getting my email and password and all of that at the very first week, and then since I'm a new hire, as I told you in my previous emails, and I had technical difficulties with the software that I was using to introduce myself. The one that I found and used with you seems like some of you had issues with it, so I decided to redo another video for you and introduce myself with a video. At least you get to see me for the first time and get to know me more. Just a brief introduction about who I am. As I told you, my name is Dr. El-Bilawi, and I come from a teaching background. So I taught at Prince William County Schools as an ESOL teacher for 8 years, and did my master's while I was teaching, and then left the school premises to pursue my PhD and finish my studies at George Mason University, where I did my PhD in curriculum and instruction with a minor in multicultural, multilingual education and international education. Been teaching as in an assistantship program at the PhD program at George Mason since 2008, and until now I am still working on, until summer actually I was at George Mason as a professor, and then I moved to college, Hood College this year, to be fortunate enough to teach you this semester. I have a multicultural background as well, so please feel free to share anything about yourself as well. That would be great. I have 2 kids, 13 and a 3-year-old, so with teaching that must be very busy. So and it's been going great with the teaching and balancing home, so that's my hobby, I guess. Please feel free to share more about you. I'll leave a thread under discussion board to introduce yourselves and get to know you. You can do another video for yourself and post it, or if you don't have accessibility to a software, you can just leave us a picture with who you are, and if you can't, at least tell us briefly who you are. What's your experience, if you are teaching or not teaching, or had any kind of experience in teaching. What are the expectations from this course, and what do you want to learn the most? And tell us anything personal about you, your family, or hobbies, if you prefer, definitely. Now, in here, let me introduce to you our Blackboard page and how to maneuver around what we have here in our tabs and documents, and introduce to you the course framework and the content for this week. Next week, or expect every week, there will be some sort of a video to, at least if there isn't a big lecture that I'm going to give for you as a video or as a screen cast, at least you'll have a video to explain to you what you're going to do for this week. This way we keep a guidance throughout the semester and keep the communication on, definitely. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to communicate with me and email me to understand or help you understand anything that you find difficult. So the first tab here on your left is Home or Announcement, which is this page that you see in front of you. Here I'm going to create announcements for you if or when needed, or if I posted anything on Blackboard, I will inform you. These announcements usually go directly to your email, so don't worry if you did not look at Blackboard in one day, because if there's any announcement, you'll receive it in your email, Hood email, of course. Make sure that you check your Hood email very frequently, once a day, or since you're taking an online class. It's possible that someone or anyone will send you an email about anything, or maybe me sending an announcement for anything regarding the course. So that's that page, and then if you go to syllabus, this is the most up-to-date syllabus that I have for you. So if you click on it, you'll see the most up-to-date one. I made some changes on that only in the class schedule. So this is all the same, but when you come to the class schedule, here it is, you'll find that I divided it by module rather than just leaving it randomly, because I wanted to connect the readings with the framework that I'm going to explain to you of the course. So each part of the module here is the framework of the course. So this way you kind of have a visual understanding of the readings and where these readings belong in the framework of the course itself. So just make sure that you look at the schedule. Also, I added rubrics for our assignment, and I'm going to explain the assignment for clarity in a minute. Okay, so that's the syllabus. When you go to course content, you find the course content divided by week. We are in our second week. This video, you'll find it in week 1, and I'm going to send an email in the announcements to tell you to check the new video, because the video that I posted wasn't working well for some of you. So I'll do that and post it under week 1 because it's part of the introductory class. If you go to week 2, you'll find the chapter PowerPoint for our reading for week 2. Now, please read first before you get to the chapter PowerPoint, because the PowerPoint is mainly to summarize the content that you've read from the book. So I want you to read your readings and then use the PowerPoint as something to visualize and summarize information for you. But if you start from the summary, you might skip some information. So just read first and then go to the lecture or PowerPoint or whatever that is under that week. And this goes for every week. Please, when we start the week, open the folder, but don't start with the lectures or anything until you finish the reading. Do the readings and then start with my lecture and whatever activity that's left, because I want you to come having an information or the foundational knowledge for this week or lecture. As if you're coming to a face-to-face class, you do the reading and you come to class, and this preps you for the class. Now, don't go ahead of yourself opening all of these files, because I did not go ahead of myself either. I'm still prepping for the course. So each week you'll find the information under the folder before the week starts. So I'll post things on Monday evening for you to start on a Tuesday morning with the new work. Okay, so that's course content, where you see the weeks. In week 1, you'll find the framework, and this is what we're going to discuss in a minute after I finish explaining the tabs here. Okay, assignments. What I did is I posted the assignments here. You'll find the first part is the explanation of the assignments, and here I'm explaining what the assignment is about, because you have basically two things that you're graded on. One is the main assignment that I'm going to explain, and two is your attendance and participation. And for an online class, attendance and participation is viewed via your participation on discussion board and your reading that will be obvious when I see your answers and your interaction under discussion board. I'll need to see that you read, and I can tell from your discussions that you've read, and you can cite things, and you can give a feedback to one of your colleagues that is educational enough because of what you've read. So your attendance and participation is heavily relied on your participation under discussion board. The assignment, the main assignment, you have 70 points for that, and that's the explanation right here. What you are going to do is you're going to basically go over whenever we are, okay, let me open the syllabus for you again to show you the assignment while we're reading that part. So basically it's an ongoing assignment. We are learning a piece by piece about research, and in each of these pieces you're going to write something on research. I'm trying to open the, oh, here we go. So for example, let's see. Okay, so here, and during this week, after you finish your reading and the PowerPoint and answering the questions on the discussion board, you need to think about a question from 1 to 2, up to you. A question or a problem, or questions or problems that you want to explore and research. Something that you went through while you were teaching, something that you're curious about and you need to research more. It is up to you. You can put from 1 to 3 options and post them under discussion board, and you'll find a discussion created forum for problems that you want to share. And once you do that, we're going to give you a feedback. I'll give you or suggest, I'll tell you, oh, I like this problem more than the other. I think this is doable. Or a colleague might give you a feedback or a suggestion or a recommendation on one of the problems or the other. Then after you read everyone's suggestion for you, you can choose whatever you want, either follow our votes or do the one that you have passion for the most. So that's the first part of that assignment, which is considered part of your participation and discussion because it's posted on discussion board. Now the first one due is after we finish the part on studying about literature review. So what you're going to do is you're going to write 1 to 2 pages of a summary of the literature review for that problem or that question that you picked when we chose together under discussion board your topic or your problem. You're going to pick that and submit your first part of writing a research which is the literature review. Okay, it's a summary of it. So do that for that topic. Then the second one will be under the second module, design. In the module design, we have a lot of types, different types of designs. So what you're going to do, you're going to basically experiment this topic and the literature review that you did with the different types of designs that we're going to study about. So here, after these two designs that we studied about, you're going to pick one that you think you like the most, closest to your topic or whatever, and then describe it, what it is, critique it if you think or not how it fits, or why would you choose it to fit your problem or your question, and then categorize the information that you've learned about this research and match it with your literature review and your question or problem. You'll do the same thing again with the second two types, and then qualitative is a bit of a big type, so you'll have to try this one. And then historical and ethnographic, you're going to choose one and experiment it again with your topic and literature review. After you went through that journey of experimenting different designs, you'll come back to picking one of these designs. So you'll have, when you write your final paper, you'll have a question, you'll have a literature review, and then you'll have a variety of designs. You're going to pick one that best fits what you liked the most, that best fits your problem, and then you're going to put all of them together and put them together with a flow, with the right flow of a good research paper, and submit it as your final paper. Now, if you go to Blackboard under assignments, this is the explanation of that. For each abstract along the way that I had just explained, this is the rubric that I'm going to use, that you need to follow. And then for the final paper at the very end of the class, this is your rubric, because we're going to evaluate a full research now. To submit, you'll go here for abstract 1, and that's the rubric. For abstract 2, abstract 3, all the way until abstract 5, but when you come to number 6, which is your final paper, you have to submit it under chalk and wire. That's the rubric that you need to follow for that. Okay? Hope the assignment is clear, and hope the submissions for each abstract is clear as well. And then here is discussion board. We have activity number 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a forum for us. One of them is an introduction form where you introduce yourself for everyone, who you are, your experience, your expectations of this course, and then hobbies or family, if you prefer to share that with us. And I'm going to post it for you, and that's when you can reply to it and create a form to tell us more about you. And then I'm creating another forum for us this week to tell me about your problem or question. So problem, research problem / question or questions. Please post your preferred problems or question for discussion. colleagues will give you feedback as well as professor, and it's up to you to pick whichever you want at the end. Okay, and that's where you're going to post your problem or questions. Okay, so far so good. Now these are tools. What are the tools that you want to choose? I don't think for this class you're going to need to choose any of that, but these are the available tools on Blackboard. And then let me put it here as, and then if you need to email anyone, the instructor or groups or students, you can hand select them. Library, if you want to explore the library for articles or books. And then course evaluation, and that's not until the end. Okay, hopefully this will help you a little bit if you're not familiar with Blackboard, to give you just a heads up on how to use Blackboard and where to find our content information. Now, let me go to the course framework. All right, here, oh no, that's oh yes, so that was supposed to be in the previous week, but because we had a slow start, we had it. So here, that's the framework of our course right here. Basically, a course framework is whatever this course objective is. What are we trying to tackle or discuss or reach an understanding for? This course basically is an introduction to research. So I'm introducing you to the basic concepts of what is a research and what are the main components of a research. The main components of a research is basically the process of starting. Before you even start writing, there are specific things that you need to do. One of them is finding the problem. One of them is understanding the nature of research in general, which is the reading of this week. And because it's self-explanatory, there wasn't anything to explain to you, but I was determined to give you a summary with the PowerPoints. You find it under week 2 to just wrap your head around it. But basically, you really need to read it carefully. And then find the problem, and then start with reading and viewing the literature, reading stuff, researching for stuff, and then find the applicable content material that you can use to match with your question or problem. You communicate and discuss with me or with your advisor or research advisor for any questions, and then you wrap your head around it to start thinking about what kind of design that is needed for this kind of question or kind of problem and kind of literature. If you found yourself that you're more towards a qualitative, then you're going to use a qualitative research. If your question will need more data-driven, number-driven, then you go to a quantitative. And if it's a mix, then you're going to use a mixed method. So this first process determines what kind of design you're going to choose. So this is module 1 that we're going to read about, which will prep us on the different kinds of research designs. You'll explore, read about them, learn about them, get familiar with them, and then see which one, you'll make an evaluation at the end. Which design do I really like and think, not only that I like, but I think that it matches with my question. And in any research, if your design does not match with the questions or problem, then it's invalid research. So we'll learn how to match both of them throughout our readings. After you finish the main design, you want to follow that design in your choices of tools or the methodology section. The design dictates to you or mandates specific tools that you need to use in order to serve this design. So we're at the last module, we're going to learn about the different methodological tools, and then you're going to pick or match the right tool with the right design that matches with your question or problem. So that's the framework, and that's what we're going to study step by step. Hopefully this helps to give you an idea of what is this course is about, and how are we going to move from one module to the other, and how is each one servicing the next module. So I think that explains everything. So your homework for this week is to first finish your reading. Second, look at the PowerPoint to make sure that things are concise for you. Download it. Write anything that you want for your own self or as notes from your readings if you want on that PowerPoint, and save it. And then the third step is to go to discussion board and answer the question that I posted for week 2. The last assignment is to finish the discussion board, the introduction of yourself, and post your problem or problems, 2 or 3, up to 3 problems or questions that you want to post, and we'll help you, all of us, myself and your colleagues, in deciding on which question or which problem you can focus on. So that's it for this week. I hope this program or software works better. Please give me a feedback if it doesn't, or if something is not clear, light, view, sound, and I'll work on it for next video to have a better view. Hope you enjoy your long weekend, enjoy your Labor Day, and we'll start on Tuesday with new content and new lecture under course content, week 3. Alright, so until we meet. I need to find out where to, and as I told you, it's a new software, so I'll figure it out how to pause it. Well, here it is. Alright, bye.